Hello, I am Holly Pendergast, marketing and business coach, and I'm here with Natalie Berger. She is one of my one-to-one clients, and she's finishing up her package. So we're going to do a major celebration testimonial, and she's going to introduce herself, and then we'll get started. So go ahead and tell us who you are, Natalie, and who you coach.
All right. I am Natalie Berger and I coach ex-Mormon women. I help them go from struggling through the process of a faith transition to totally thriving in their new freedom.
Okay, I want to mention, like right off the bat, like you are such an amazing example of the transformation that your clients get. Can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about what your life looks like and like tell us how do you have purple hair? Like
I
all
know.
the things, like the
Okay.
details of like how you look and feel, but also your life and like tell me about your transformation a little bit so your clients kind of get to know what to expect.
Yeah. So I was raised in Mormonism. I didn't leave till I was in my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And I live in a very Mormon community and I have a whole Mormon family. And I really struggled for a few years with this story that it has to be so hard when we leave. We
Mm.
have to stop fitting in our community. We have to lose our relationships or at least have them be less connected. We have to hide from the Mormons, sort of this idea like I
Right.
can't get caught drinking coffee or I
Mm.
can't get caught wearing a tank top.
Mm-hmm.
And I just decided that was bullshit. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't need to do that. So I just started working on my thoughts around it. And I proved to myself that that's how I was creating this reality. It's like, oh my gosh, I can still be best friends with my mom and my sisters. This doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
to be a problem. So I started working on changing those thoughts and working on those relationships. And guess what? I'm closer with my 5 siblings and my parents than I was even before when I was Mormon like them.
Oh,
It
so good.
was sick. Oh, okay. And then I just kept doing it. Well, what if
Mm-hmm.
I used to be pink and turquoise. I always kind of wanted to do that. What if I did that? I didn't have to
Mm.
make that mean I was too funky for the Mormons.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun because I think it's fun, right? I don't show up from that scared place. I pierced my nose.
Mm. So
Not
cute.
right. So
Yes.
I just learned that the things I thought were the problem weren't really the problem. And that the more
Mm.
I was me and gave my people the opportunity to see and love me, they did. And then I thought I could start a business. I have 4 children. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 14 years. And I'm like, well, I can do all of that if I want. It's just, I was the only thing holding me back. I decided I wanted to stay home with my kids still. And I wanted to run a coaching business. So I do. So it's just this idea of the story we think has to be
Mm-hmm.
true does not have to be true. And I'm
Right.
living proof that you can keep your relationships, that you can have
Mm-hmm.
crazy hair, that you can start a
Mm-hmm.
business and keep the things that are most important to
Beautiful. So clearly she's thriving. Can we see? I mean, just look at her. She's like so lit up about her life. And yes, such a testament to coaching and the work you do and the work you've done on yourself and the clients that you're going to serve and all the results that they get. So, so good. Okay, so let's look at like when we first started to coach together, like 6 months ago. Tell
you.
me a little bit about who you were then, and then
Oh,
we'll look at who you are now.
I was so scared, guys. I was so cute and
Oh,
so
what were
scared.
you what were you scared of
Um,
like specifically?
yeah, I was afraid to take up space.
Mm-hmm.
I was afraid to be imperfect. I was spending days creating a post.
Mm-hmm.
I was recording myself on videos and watching it over and over again and re-recording over and over again. And then even at that point, when I'd finally post it, I would feel sick and I
Mm-hmm.
would worry about the likes and I would worry about all of that. And I was
Mm-hmm.
not me. I was
Mm-hmm.
completely hidden from my people. It was like
Yeah.
it's like I didn't realize there was this other layer. Like I had
Mm-hmm.
learned how to feel safe with my family and in my
Yeah.
neighborhood. I what didn't feel safe on the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
So when she's talking about taking up space, that is that what you I'm just speaking for you here, but
Yeah.
like that's what you mean?
Right. I mean, like saying things out loud on the
Mm-hmm.
internet, sharing
Right.
my opinions, even if I can't back them up with 12 research papers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Realizing like my original ideas are safe to be shared. I was
Yeah.
sharing a lot of other people's quotes before, right?
Mm-hmm.
oh, and then
Yes.
saying how that applied. And it's great,
Right.
but I wasn't in tandem with that sharing my genius.
Right. Which is what so many like newer coaches do, including myself back in the day, was like, and that's such a great place to start is like, I'm gonna like share something else and then I'm gonna talk about how it relates to my business, which is a great way to get the ball rolling, right? But where would you describe or like how would you describe your relationship with social media now and your business now that we've gone through like 12 months of coaching?
Yeah. So I have learned to, well, a lot of the work has been learning to calm my nervous system,
Mm-hmm.
learning that I can post something and not freak out, that I can post an imperfect thing and not freak out. And so
Yeah.
now it's fun. When I
Mm,
get an idea that I think might be helpful, even if I think it might only help a few people that follow me, I just throw the idea out there.
mm,
And I don't check all the time to see if
yeah.
anyone has a negative comment. I'm just like, that's out there for someone. So my beliefs around it have changed. I just
Right.
believe I have something to share and that whoever needs to find it will find it because I
Mm-hmm.
put it out there and not hide it.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's where you are now, right? And that's what like a lot of my clients go through too. Tell me about your specific journey to go from watching your videos 100 times before posting them to having an idea, talking about it on the same day and posting it. Like
Yeah.
what was your path to like learning your nervous system and like some of the work that we did to help you get there?
Okay. Self concept. That's
Uh-huh.
the whole entire thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I see myself now as a thought leader.
Tell me more about that before
Okay.
we go anywhere.
Okay.
What does
So
that mean to you?
to me, that means that my ideas around this specific issue, which I
Mhm.
have tons of experience around,
Right.
that they are, I'm not even going to say original because I think we kind of
Mhm.
form our thoughts from everything that we learn in here, but they're specific. They're said in a way from me that nobody else
Yes.
can say them. Right? Even like,
Right.
for example, if I stutter in a video or say a wrong
Mhm.
word, like there are going to be people who find that endearing because that's who I am. And I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. So energetically, it feels like fun and
Mhm.
it feels like service. And it's
Mhm.
not about me. Before it was all about me
Right.
because I didn't have this secure self concept. So I was
Mhm.
searching for ways to feel like I was good enough.
Right.
Now I just
Outside.
am. Right.
Right.
I decided inside that I am, which makes it so fun and exciting to share
Mhm.
that with other people.
Okay. So how long can somebody expect from your journey? Like how long did it take you to get there?
Well, I saw major changes in the first couple weeks.
Tell me more.
Okay, so I don't think that it really necessarily showed up on the outside, but I felt different within the first
Mm.
couple of weeks of meeting with you.
Mhm.
The questions that you asked me just opened up my brain to new
Mm.
ways of thinking about myself, thinking about my business, thinking about my people. With I was looking today, within the first 5 weeks of working with you, I had two full-time
My AirPods just died. What was that?
five
What
weeks of
was
working
that?
with you, I had signed two clients. Now, here is why that happened.
Yeah,
The
tell us
first
why.
couple weeks, things started to change up here. And then you challenged me. I remember like telling you all these things, and you were like, okay, well, like, what if you did something
Yeah.
with new energy? I don't remember exactly how you said it, but that's when I started to like let the shift show.
Right.
It was like there were these two people. I think
Mhm.
they just needed to see me. They
Yes.
needed to see me so they knew what it would be like to work with me.
Right.
And those clients have re-signed
Mhm.
because what they saw in my marketing is what they got. They weren't
Right.
surprised one bit. They knew what they were signing up for. They got that.
Yes.
So they keep wanting it.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So incredible. So, how I like to teach social media and what you did exactly was to use social media as the tool in which you practice expressing what has changed on the inside and feeling that safety in your nervous system to be yourself is the social media platform is what you use to show that. And Natalie did that. And by way of expressing herself, it ended up being marketing. And the marketing ended up attracting those clients that were like, Heart Natalie Berger coaching. I'm signing up. I want to pay you. And then I want to pay you again. And I'm obsessed with you. And can you be my coach forever?
Yeah.
Basically. in a nutshell, that's what we worked on, right? So your
Absolutely.
that energy, what were you so afraid about in terms of letting that energy be seen on the internet before? For those of you listening who are like, I'm trying to be really professional on Instagram.
Because I believe there was a right way
Oh yeah, tell me
and I
more.
needed to do
This
it
is
right.
a sneaky one
It's
that
so
is
sneaky.
perfectionism wrapped in a bow of like, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. I'm searching for the answer. So
Yeah.
how did you get rid of that?
Well, I recognized that it was coming from this story of like, well, I've never done this before. I've just been a stay-at-home mom for this amount. Like I was just constantly knocking down my cred.
Yeah.
Um, which um ask your question again. I sort of lost my train of thought.
I don't remember my question.
Perfect. We're
So,
great.
I was asking about like the energy that wanted to come out of you, like
Oh,
what kept you like tamed
okay, yeah.
before?
So believing that there was a right way, there was some
Mm,
secret.
mm,
These like marketers knew that I didn't
yeah.
know. And that was my story because I'm a stay-at-home mom,
Mm,
because I've
mm-hmm,
never done this before.
mm,
Um, and so I didn't want to do it wrong.
mm-hmm. Right.
Now, here's the trick. I think there is a right way, and that
Mm,
right way is however the hell you do it. And then you
yeah.
just decide that's the right way.
Right.
And
The
I
right
and I can
way.
prove it.
Yeah.
That worked. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have
Yeah.
clients as soon as I started believing, oh, my way is the right way,
Yes.
instead
If
of
there,
searching for it.
right. So if there was a right way, the right way is just to be more yourself in doing it.
Yes.
And that's what attracts people that love you,
Yeah.
that don't get to see you when you are being a filtered vanilla version of yourself online, which in and of itself is just a like lowercase t trauma response. Because you're
Yes.
trying to be something that you think people are going to want to see. You're trying to be something you think people are going to like and be palatable. And we don't want to upset others because that could offend them. And then if they're offended, then I will get canceled. And if I get canceled, then I get banned from the tribe forever and die in the forest alone.
I was sure that was going to happen. I
Right.
was sure I was just one sentence away
Right.
from and I loved when you pointed out to me that it was a trauma response because it
Hmm.
made sense. I had
Hmm.
left my tribe and
Yeah.
I had worked through
Hmm.
all these things around that and was in a
Hmm.
really good place and
Yeah.
ready to, to help people, but I
Right.
was not ready to put myself in a position where I could be rejected. That
Yes.
was what was holding me back. And when I learned, oh, there's nothing wrong with me, this is just
Hmm.
a really normal human response
Hmm.
to an opportunity for rejection.
Right.
And it was like, oh, okay, I can work through this then. There's not something
Yeah.
fundamentally wrong with me,
Right.
just a
Right.
trauma response.
Just human,
Just human.
like all of us.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so when you did finally allow yourself to be visible, being who you are, talking like you talk, expressing what you wanted to express, like putting yourself in the risk of rejection,
Mhm.
what happened?
Well, I expected it to take as long as it took for me to even dare post something.
Hmm.
I thought it would take me that long to feel comfortable doing that. And I think it was maybe like
Mm.
4 stories before I was
Yeah, like
like,
stories.
oh, because the truth is, it's a lot of work to try and be something else.
Right.
Not that much work to be yourself. You've got like one little hurdle to get over, which is
Yeah.
it's safe to be me. And then once you're there,
Yeah.
easy. And before we started working together, I was dreading my business and I wanted to quit.
Mm. Right.
And now it's like, what did I even think was that hard of work? It wasn't the coaching, it was the
Right.
marketing. I loved
Yes.
I loved the clients that I had. I wanted to keep working with them. I did
Hmm.
not want to have a business. It felt so heavy. So
Right.
heavy. It's like I would wake up in the morning and remember, like, I should probably post something today, and
Hmm.
miserable.
Right. Okay,
No.
so this is like so common between coaches is like they love to help people. They are highly skilled, very educated. They have had their own life experience as a like testament to the work that they've done. They've done so much facing of their own inner work. And then they're like marketing, oh God, right? Selling, oh God, right? Tell us a little bit about your thoughts about marketing before we worked together.
Okay, I this is sort of funny to me now, but I thought it was like inappropriate and like
Mm-hmm.
rude and salesy.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like I would seriously think, Holly asked me once, what do you think of when you think of marketing? And I'm like, I think of the used car salesman that wouldn't leave me alone.
Cringy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
cringy and so pushy.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought of when I thought of marketing.
And tell us, like, because you've had so many signups for your workshop coming up,
Yeah.
that was all a major result that you created from the marketing you did.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how it felt to market this offer that's most recent. So this is the end of her 6 months where she has how many signups now?
For my workshop,
Yeah.
17, maybe 20 now. I got a few more that I
Okay.
haven't put in.
Let's
So I
call
think
it
about
20.
10.
Yeah, let's round up and call it 20 people have signed up for her workshop. And you have to market workshops or any live event that you're doing, right? So before she was thinking marketing is used salesman vibe, used salesman, used car salesman.
Yes.
To 20 people have signed up for her workshop. She has a coaching business with clients in it who are re-upping and re-signing. So tell me about your process in marketing your workshop and how it felt to market that now that you're so far along in coaching.
Well, I started to realize that marketing is actually service. It's
Mm,
very different from buying a used car.
right.
Coaching is not a used car lot,
Yeah.
right? Coaching is I have something that might help you,
Mm.
and here it is. And if you
How does
want
it
it,
feel?
you're welcome to come. I'd love it if you grabbed it. It feels
Yeah.
abundant.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things you taught me that's been the most helpful, I like run this word through my mind all the time, is like unattached.
Yes.
So I was sharing what I'm going to teach in my workshop, telling them what they're going to get from it, what it's going to be like. And then if nobody signed up, cool.
Yes.
I'll still get on. I'll do the workshop for one person if that's who signs up,
Right.
because it's not about me. And that makes marketing feel like love.
Yes.
Trying to convince anyone of anything, because
Mm-hmm.
I know that I have something that can help. So it's kind of like two parts. Believing that my work will benefit people makes it
Mm-hmm.
so that marketing doesn't feel cringy. It's just like,
Right.
everyone needs to know about this. It will
Right.
help you.
Yes, exactly. Um, Tell us a little bit about what it was like to work with me specifically, because I think certain people, well, we all have an idea of like, oh, what it's gonna like look like to work with them. Like maybe it might be really scary. Oh my God, she's gonna make me do this. And like tell us what your experiences were in terms of our time together.
Yeah. Well, coaching, I mean, it's important that you find someone you vibe with.
Yeah.
And on our consult, I just felt safe. And I
Mm,
know that I could talk to you. And the thing about starting your own business like this is like it is deeply personal.
it really is.
This is not about like, can you please tell me how to hack the algorithm? And you like
Right.
opening up the textbook and whatever, right? This is like, I'm feeling like deeply depressed about this today,
Right. Mm-hmm.
right? Like this is an intimate relationship.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
It really is. And so I knew that I wanted somebody that I knew I could cry in front of, that I knew I
Mm-hmm.
could send a sobbing boxer message to it
Mm-hmm.
in between sessions if I
Yeah.
need, because I knew that this work was an inside job.
Right.
And that's what it's felt like every time. There's never been a session where it was like, what are we going to talk about today? Like
Mm,
if I brought something, we went to work. If I didn't
mm-hmm.
have something specific, you were like, great, let's work on this. And then it would
Yeah.
bring whatever needed to be brought up.
Yeah. Right. Whoever said business is not personal is deeply wrong.
Yes, exactly.
Fox is here to say hello. Because yeah, when you grow your own business, it does feel very personal because you're having to be visible. You're
Yeah.
having to make offers. And when we do make it, whether we're in non-attachment, which is beautiful how Natalie said it. And by the way, why you felt safe on my console, because I was non-attached,
Yeah.
right? Is I completely forgot what I was saying.
I
What was I
can't
just
help
saying?
you this time either.
You can't help me. Um,
The reason I felt safe was because I was unattached.
Non-attachment.
And
Oh,
even if
it's
you feel
deeply
unattached.
personal.
Yeah.
Yes, it's deeply personal, because you have to make those internal shifts and love yourself so deeply and like take care of you when you're feeling that hot, that
Mhm.
it builds your relationship with yourself. And when you build your relationship with yourself, you're able now to be more yourself. And you have this like this bubble of like holding space for yourself that's so protective of your feelings that like no matter what somebody else says, it like just bounces off your bubble.
Yeah.
No one can come in unless you invite them in, and you know how to hold space for yourself so beautifully, which gives you that confidence to
Right.
be like, do you want this? Here's how much it is. And no qualms. It's just love, like you said.
Because the truth is, you don't know how people are going to react.
Yeah, that's so true.
So if you're like, what if this, what if that? I've
Yeah.
gotten to a place where I'm like, oh, that won't be a problem.
Yeah.
Or if I get in a tizzy over it, I will just message my coach. Like
Right.
I have the tools that I need to deal with that. So
Mhm.
when I'm going to say something, that's not running through my mind, what if, because I
Mm,
feel this sense of safety that started with you sort of being
mhm.
like, you're safe, and
Yeah.
here's how you create it for yourself. So now I
Mhm.
can do it on my own and I can
Right.
safety. And that's one of the things that I think is so important about not just like getting coaching from someone's Instagram. That's great,
Mhm.
but having someone who can look at your particular thought,
Right.
call you out on your particular bullshit that you did not even see.
Right.
That's
As we
where
all
like the
do.
real transformation happens. You're like,
Right.
oh, I have a money mindset problem.
Right.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Cracked this whole vault open that I was like, we're
Right.
gonna have to take a look at that.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about your money stuff that you were
Oh,
feeling in the beginning?
yes. Yeah,
Because they're so
absolutely.
common.
Yeah. So I believed that if someone paid me, I was taking their money.
Like,
Yeah,
like
like crazy.
stealing it, or tell us more.
Yeah, like tricking them out of it somehow.
Oh yeah.
Like I
I remember
believed
that.
nobody wanted to pay for anything.
Mm-hmm.
People want things for free. People don't want to pay for things. It like felt really transactional in like, and that's really tricky with coaching because how do I quantify what my coaching is worth? It's not like I'm selling
Right.
gold, be
We
like
cannot.
this many ounces equals this,
Right.
right? Um, so I also had a huge intolerance to receiving money. It
Mhm.
wasn't fun. Like I'd
Right.
get client would pay an invoice and I'd be like, oh no.
Right. And
No.
subtle ways too. I just want to offer of you doing this was like wanting to offer discounts,
Oh yeah.
wanting
Free
to offer things for
coaching.
free. I used to do this too, by the way. And a
Yeah.
lot of people have it. So that's why I'm extra
Yeah.
calling you out.
Yeah. And I also I made assumptions about other people's
Mm,
ability to pay me. Like
right.
be on a consult and I would learn that they had financial trouble or they were like a really poor student. And I would have this like urge to be like, oh, okay, well, how about we just offer you 50% off,
Right.
which I realized did not serve them. That was
Right.
actually a really selfish thing for me to do. That was being
Mm-hmm.
attached. And that was
Mm-hmm.
also believing that they couldn't figure it out and get the money if I had what they wanted. It was totally knocking their legs out from underneath them.
Yeah. Like, I'll just decide for you.
Yeah.
You cannot be resourceful.
Right. And I
I will
thought
take this
that's
one.
because I was kind. I thought
Mm-hmm.
that's because I was trying to serve. And I just
Right.
realized how that was just
Mhm.
perpetuating poor money mindset in them.
Right. Yes, it's always a mirror, isn't it?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so what do you think was like the biggest catalyst for your growth?
Oh man. Um, I want to say that the actual process of forcing myself to at least 1 hour a week
Mhm.
with you really dive into my business, like the
Mhm.
consistency.
Mhm.
That's like the process thing
Mhm.
that shifted everything for me because I
Mhm.
was going in like spurts and fits before where I
Mhm.
would like work really hard and then not. And so the consistency of like forcing myself to show up for myself, for my business
Yeah.
helped me see that was part of the self concept of like I think I told you before I thought of this as like a business meeting and I would
Mhm.
almost always get dressed up for it and make sure that it was like I took it very very seriously.
Yeah.
And that shifted this whole self concept. That sort of started the spiral of,
Right.
oh, I'm because I really had this just a mom thought,
Mhm.
right? Like, so
Yeah.
I need to see myself show up in that way in order to
Mhm.
be able to
Right.
be CEO.
Right.
So I don't want to just repeat the same question, but it was the
Mhm.
self concept thing. It was the
Mhm.
actually looking at what I thought about myself as a coach.
Right. So I want to like also just translate this for people who are watching is that Natalie took action from the person she wanted to be, which was somebody who had a business that was having lots of money go through it, right? Having serving lots of clients, having 20 people sign up for her workshop, the first one she's ever done, by the way.
Yeah.
Right?
Excited.
So she was taking action from who she wanted to be, a businesswoman who had a legit business with people coming in, money coming in, all the things. And then she started acting like one by hiring a business coach, me,
Yeah.
by showing up weekly. I don't think you ever rescheduled or canceled a session. Like Natalie came, she showed up, she implemented, she did the work, and now she's here. So amazing testament to the work that you've done is like you totally did change your self-concept by making that decision to book a consult and then say yes to yourself and your dream and your desire.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
And it was a whole life experience. Like you
Yeah.
helped me with clothes.
Tell us
You
about the
helped me-
styling.
Okay, yeah. So just to kind of point out, like I have 4 small children and I spend a lot of my time in like comfy, stretchy clothes that I don't care if they get stained. And that
Right.
was sort of like, and I realized I didn't really have a style and I wanted one. And one of the things that really like triggered it was I was going to this coaching conference and I literally had to buy new clothes in order to show up as that person. I didn't just have that. So
Right.
working with right, because your self-concept is this whole entire thing. So like
Yeah.
what clothes feel like me? And
Yeah.
believing that I am allowed to
Mm-hmm.
spend money, spend time
Mm-hmm.
figuring that out so that I look like how I feel on the inside. Yeah.
Totally 100,000% yes.
Yes.
So notice she didn't say, I'm being performative and pretending that I'm some high-end professional coach. She was like, no, I am a high-end professional coach who's legitimate in her business and her desires and all of it. And this is who I am, world, with my outfit.
Yeah.
Because the outfit speaks volumes, right? It
It really
communicates so
does.
much,
Yeah.
no matter what you're wearing. And like, listen, I love comfy, cozy clothes. I adore them. And you can also use the clothes that you wear, whether they're comfy or they're going out clothes. Like they should actually all be comfortable, but
Yes. But they
they're
can also be beautiful.
yes,
Yeah.
and they're an
Like
expression of what's on the
I
inside.
want to share the story of this ring. So I
Yes.
made this ring maybe like a year and a half ago. And I was really excited about it when I first made it. And I wore it like to date night or whatever.
Mhm.
And then I kind of stopped wearing it because I told myself it was too extra.
My favorite
Imagine,
word.
yeah, imagine a girl in like jeans and a t-shirt and then wearing this.
Yeah.
And I just challenged myself to wear it every day. In fact, I even
Yes.
slept in it for a while, even though it's
Yeah.
chunky, so I wouldn't forget to put it on.
Mm.
And it was sort of this like reminder
Yeah.
of who I was becoming.
Yes.
And to be clear, I'm not like a fancy schmancy thing. I don't like that. I didn't have to like be like, okay, what should a coach wear? And then wear that to feel into it. I was like, I'm a coach who wears my wide leg jeans and my kicks and a cool crop sweater and this ring. Like
Yes.
I made it me. I didn't try to become what I thought I needed to be.
So beautiful. This is also an example of bougie as baseline,
Yes.
right? It's like you made it a baseline that ring is just a part of like your everyday experience that is now, it was at a time an elevation, and now it's just the baseline.
And it reminded me to treat myself differently.
Yes.
It reminded me to have the thoughts that would help me become who I wanted to be.
Yeah. This
And
is
now I just need to find a new thing because now I am her. So now we're
right.
just looking for the next piece.
Yes. You're just going to add to your collection slowly over time. And this is too like a misconception that people have that like, I need to buy everything new.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, just slowly over time. Maybe it's a ring. And then maybe it's like a sweatshirt that feels extra cozy that like doesn't have any stains on it. Right.
Yeah.
It's like it elevates over time and you get to, it's always evolving.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be ballroom status. Like it can be
Right.
whatever you want it to be. It's about how you feel. So
Yeah.
beautiful. So when you started wearing this ring, what were some like vivid things that you can remember happening that you can share that people that are like, what does she mean?
Okay, this is gonna sound a little silly, but I just decided that it sort of had magic powers.
I love that.
Because it like, and Holly knows I'm not a very woo kind of girl, but I just
Uh-huh.
decided this ring just sort of has superpowers.
Yeah.
It just made me feel brave. Like,
Yeah.
oh well, I can do extra
Mm-hmm.
things that maybe I
Mm-hmm.
have been telling myself I can't do because I've got my magic
Right.
on, right? Like,
Yes. I
um,
love it.
and it made it fun to sometimes like um wear a lipstick that sort of
Yeah.
matched purple in my ring, like
Yeah.
just for fun. Or it just sort of helped me pay attention to the fact that what even though I was telling myself what I wore didn't matter, it was causing thoughts and feelings, right?
It's
That
energy.
yeah, it's energy 100%. And it's
Energy.
it's actually hard to explain because
Yeah.
it just is a feeling, like it's a vibe.
It really is hard to like put into words. And thank you for saying that because it really is like, I don't know, the energy of these stones
Yeah.
communicate something to me that then I utilize for myself to feel this way, to then generate this experience, right? I do this with the same pen. It's a gold
Yes.
pen. It's like a metal pen that goes, it like writes so softly. And this is like one of the, literally, I have two pens and these are them. They're the same pen that I'm like, this is my baseline. It goes with me everywhere whenever I'm writing notes, and it feels very bougie. It was
Yes.
probably $5. And the energy of it allows me to channel the energy of my business, of my brand, and what wants to come through me. It helps me feel more magically in tuned.
It's
So
really subtle,
beautiful. Yeah,
the little things that help you
right.
channel certain energy.
It
Like,
is subtle.
a
Yeah,
bright orange Bic pen
yeah,
is not going, it's still going to write
yeah,
exactly, but
right,
it's not going to quite give you that like
right.
leveled energy
Mm-hmm.
that is so fun to share with other people on social.
Yes.
They can feel it through social media.
Right. If you're feeling meh and your clothes are you feeling meh, what's gonna come through?
It's totally
Meh.
met. And people can tell if you're faking it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would like, try to be extra,
Right. You
make
can
up for
try
the
to.
fact that I didn't feel so great.
Right.
I would watch it and I'd be like, ew, I
Right.
can't even explain why I didn't like it. I liked what I
Right.
said.
Right.
It just
It's
didn't
the
feel
energy
good.
behind it.
Yes,
Yes. And I
100%.
also want to like preface too, like there is a small phase where you are trying things out that don't quite fit, and you trying them and you cringing after is just a sign of growth
Yes, no
because there's,
regrets. That's
yeah.
how you do it.
Yes, that's how you do it. Like you pick a red lipstick and you're like, for some reason, I didn't realize that color clashed and I felt weird about it and I did it anyways and my story was really awkward. And you're like, okay, that's not the red for me.
Mhm.
And then you just keep collecting data and you keep moving on. So beautiful.
And the skill that you've taught me of leaving things up
Mm-hmm.
when they're cringy
Tell us about that.
because it teaches your brain that it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
It teaches your brain that it's
Literally.
okay to not be perfect. That story is going to be gone in 24 hours, and let's just
Mhm.
see if I'm still alive. Let's just
Yeah.
see if I haven't
Yes.
somehow lost all of my followers of that, right? Like it
Right.
just oh, nothing. And I even had some where I people would message me and tell me that story changed everything for me. The one that I
Right.
almost deleted because I thought,
Right. So even though we're saying you can feel the discomfort or like the inauthenticity online, it could still help somebody.
yeah, right.
Your cringy, most awkward post can really help somebody today. So you could just leave it up and it's none of your business what it looks like. It's just there to communicate the thing it was meant to communicate to the right person's ears.
Yep.
Awkward and everything.
Which is kind of an energy in and of itself.
Right.
Like, here's where I didn't quite match up the energy like I wanted to, but I'm
Right.
also in the energy of serving you, so you get to see it anyway.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Next question. So,
Okay.
what are you most proud of that you created in this
Mm,
6 months?
um, oh man, there's so many things.
And you can name all of them if you want.
I mean, I'm really proud of the clients that I have brought into my business.
Mm,
I'm really, really proud that I was able to find soulmate clients
mhm,
whose lives have changed through coaching.
mhm,
So I am really proud of that. But I also am so proud of my relationship with social media.
mhm,
From it being this scary thing and it being this metric of how good I am,
mhm,
to it just being one of the tools to build relationships.
mm. And
And building relationships
relationships.
is fun. That's
Right.
right. That's what this is. This is building relationships. So I
Right.
think that my mindset around social media is the thing that I'm most proud of because it's everything for me and the way that I want to market and the way I want to run my business. Social media is the answer.
Mhm.
Now that I have a healthy relationship with it, I feel like the sky's the limit.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. What were some of your fears and doubts before you signed up? What was going through your head
Yeah.
that somebody might be like, oh my God, I want to sign up for console, but maybe they have some of the same fears or doubts?
So, okay, ask me that again because I thought you were going somewhere else with that question.
Okay. What were like some of your fears and doubts right before you started working with me?
So
Like
not
right before
about
you,
working with you, but
or either one. Like what
yeah.
was your fear around like the investment, anything that comes up, fears and doubts?
Yeah. So for sure I was telling myself that I wasn't worthy of spending that kind of money
Mhm.
on a coach for my business because I hadn't made that money yet. So I had this
Mhm.
idea of like, well, I can hire Holly as soon as I've made, which is so dumb because like working with you is how I've learned how to make money. So it's
It's
pretty,
always like,
yeah.
hello, right?
It was kind of like, yeah, I can buy myself new running shoes once I've run 4
Mm,
months. That's sort of
right. It's
like how dumb.
backwards.
Yes, it's so bad. So there was that apprehension of
Mhm.
and and that was a money mindset thing. True.
Right.
It
Right.
was part of this really like transactional tit for tat kind
Mhm.
of thing when it comes to
Mhm.
money instead of thinking it as energy, like an energy
Mhm.
exchange. And I needed
Mhm.
to put for me, the dollar amount felt
Mhm.
like a lot.
Mhm.
But what I've learned is like I put a lot of energy into this because of that. That helped me
Mm.
show up for this in a certain way
Mhm.
that has come back to me.
Right.
Yeah.
In
So,
in what ways has it come back to you?
well, financially, it's come back to me quite literally.
Literally.
And what?
I just said literally.
Yeah, literally has come back to me.
Mhm.
I've made back my investment, so close that we're going to count it.
Mhm.
And then I mean, if I could say like, yeah, if you could have told me, okay, here's a dollar amount that will make it so that this whole business idea that you have isn't going to feel like a
Mhm.
ginormous load crushing every day of your life, I'd have been like, yes, I'll take it. And that happened almost immediately. So just a lot of those beliefs of like, that's too much money. I
Mhm.
can't do it. What if I spend that and
Mhm.
then I don't make that? Or I
Yeah.
don't change, or somehow I'm as if that's even possible, as if you can
Right.
do something big like this and not become a different person on the other end. So silly. But
Right.
that's what I was apprehensive about.
Right. So a lot of people are like the money, right?
Yeah.
But what else did you get from us working together besides like making your investment back and bringing in clients? Like, what were the other things that you may have been surprised about that you got?
Yeah. Well, I was really surprised by the self-concept work. I did not know that
Mm,
was what we were going to be doing. I didn't
mm,
know my self-concept needed any work. I did
yeah.
not, that was like a blind spot to me. Um, I mean, let's just talk about the clothes again. I have
Yeah.
bought some really fun clothes that there's no way I would have bought for myself.
Okay, wait. We have to talk about Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Your trip to Hawaii.
Oh, Mexico. It was Mexico.
Mexico.
Oh,
You were
yeah.
on a beach and you're like in this gorgeous outfit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I bought some things I never would have bought. I bought this
Right.
gorgeous swimming suit that was kind of like a plunge and it had a cheetah on it and
Hmm.
it's really extra.
Right.
So I prepared myself for this trip to Mexico with all of these clothes and the most amazing thing happened. I was wearing this cool white halter top and these like kind of bright pink linen, flowy, beachy type pants at dinner the first night. And this woman, I'm in the like buffet line. This woman gets up from across the restaurant and comes over to tell me how much she loves my outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be clear, like it was cute.
Yeah.
It was not like this super special different thing. And when I told you that, you're like, I bet it was your energy.
Yeah.
You felt so good in that
Mm-hmm.
like I was wearing the shit out of that outfit.
Right. The outfit wasn't wearing you. You
Exactly.
were, yes.
Right.
And she was like, I have to say who are you? Can
Yes.
I tell you something?
It was not like she was behind me in line. She really made an effort
Yeah.
to like to do that. And so that trip,
Mm-hmm.
wearing that crazy swimsuit, wearing just allowing myself, first of all, like from my Mormon background of like
Mm-hmm.
covering my body all the time, which I'd practiced that a lot here in Utah,
Mm-hmm.
but to take it to the next level in Mexico was an up level.
Right.
And I don't remember if it was right before that or right after that that I did a boudoir photo shoot.
Yes.
Like that up leveled myself,
Mm-hmm.
not even just as a businesswoman, right? So like
Right.
even if my business went away magically,
Right.
what I have taken from this work is
Mm-hmm.
permanent within me. It is
Yes.
who I am now. It's affected how I run my family.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I meant to say earlier about working with the coaches, it's hard for us to see our own successes. It's hard for us to see what's like super badass about us.
Right.
And I think you're particularly good at seeing that. And so you would point out things as I'm just like chatting to you about my day.
Right.
Okay, wait a minute. Like, let's talk about that. And then
Hold
let's
up.
apply that
Yeah.
to like your people. And you
Mm-hmm.
help me see how my everyday life is an example of my work. And now
Right.
I can do that on my own, right? I can have this like interaction with my toddler where I realize like, oh, I got to tell my people about this because this
Mm.
matters, right?
Yeah.
These little things. And that has been so, again, amazing for my business, but also
Mm-hmm.
so amazing for me to be better at seeing my accomplishments. You make me celebrate.
Yes.
Be like, hey, time to
Mandatory
celebrate. Yes, mandatory
celebration.
homework. We need to celebrate this thing.
Yes.
Something that I would have completely overlooked and not even
Right.
as an
Yeah.
accomplishment. So now I'm so much better at it. I can see it.
Yes. What do you think the celebration has created for you? Because it's very actually a scientific,
Yes. Okay. Tell me if
systematic,
I'm right, because this is what I think
strategic. Okay.
it's done to my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has rewarded my brain
Mm-hmm.
for changing, which our brains don't want to do.
They do not want to do.
Stay the same.
They want to stay negative.
So it was like the celebration taught my brain that scary thing
Mm-hmm.
has a reward. Sorry.
Yeah.
That scary thing. And I needed to show my brain that
Mm-hmm.
by sometimes it was buying something like a new candle or a new necklace or something that had a meaning. And sometimes it was honestly just sending an excited message to you on Voxer.
Yeah.
It was my celebration. Finding a quiet place in my house, telling you what I had just did and sending a party. Right? Like just to make sure that I'm showing my brain, look what you did, girl.
Right.
Awesome.
It is a marker of the moment because so much too in business can feel like it's not working. It's not working. And then we just collect evidence of how it's not working and we forget everything that is working.
Yes.
And then we don't
totally doing that.
Right. We don't even know what's working because we never took a second to celebrate it and be like, how did that happen? How did I create that positive result? So when we understand what created the positive result, which is probably your energy and how you showed up, not attached and having fun and all that, right? Now we know how to replicate it.
Yeah.
So when you replicate what's working, you literally create momentum in your business.
Yeah. Celebrating really is like putting a pin in it so you can't dismiss it so that you can keep the momentum rolling.
Yes. And it's just so much more fun than berating yourself for what's not working, right? It's like, let's have some fun here because we're not doing this to be miserable.
Yes.
Right? We are not doing this to be miserable. If it's not fun, it's not happening. Right. And we are going to work hard and we're going to make the hard work fun. So it really is like so much internal work that makes you change how you think about yourself, which is what the entire meaning of self-concept is, right?
Right.
And love on yourself in a deeper, more profound way than you ever could have possibly done had you had not started business.
Yeah. And at first
Yeah.
it just serves to balance out the negativity.
Right. At first it just
And then you start to,
50-50.
yeah, then you start to realize that your habit has become celebrating and not berating.
Yes.
And it feels really expansive.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we know some of your fears and doubts around the investment, right? For your business and like, will I make it back? All that, right?
Yeah.
What were some of your concerns with maybe me that like, oh no, she's gonna be like this, or I'm gonna be like this, or I'm afraid this.
Oh, okay. Let me try to go 6 months back because now that I know
I
you
know
so
it's
well,
in a
I'm not
while.
sure that I can really even.
Or
Um,
you could share like what it actually is like to work with me. That might be actually more useful so that people don't have to worry about their fears and are just like, oh yeah, this is what it's like.
yeah. Well, you show us who you are,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not trying to make us do it your way.
Right.
And um, that actually, okay, now I'm remembering, like, what if Holly doesn't understand my people? What if
Mm,
Holly doesn't understand what works for,
mhm.
right? Holly's not an ex-Mormon. Like, what if
Right.
she doesn't get it? What if her ideas aren't going to work for me? What if the way she's created her business isn't
Mm-hmm.
actually what I need?
Mm.
Well, it turns out that wouldn't be a problem, right?
Right.
You're not trying to teach me to be like you. You're not trying to teach
Mm.
me. And it started to get like so annoying at first when I was asked what to do.
I know. I'm like,
You would be like, I don't know, dude. Like, how do you feel about doing this?
yeah, yeah.
No, just tell me. And you never would. It was like,
Uh,
you would help me figure out how to find the answers within myself.
right. Because your answers are going to be better
Yeah.
than what I try to tell you to do, right? And to be clear, I have lots of strategy. I have
Oh,
lots
yeah.
of know about that I will give you framework for, right? And
That's
then
what
you
it
will have
is,
to figure it
though.
out yourself.
Yes, it is. It is a framework, and the strategy is what's valuable. You think what's valuable are the specific
Hmm.
answers. Think, oh, I'm just going to hire a coach that will tell me how to do
Hmm.
this, and this.
Right.
The problem with that would be like the second you stop working with that coach
Right.
or whatever, then what? You
Then
can't,
what?
right? Then you don't know how to do it. But if you
Right.
have a framework and you learn how to fill in the blanks, and
Hmm.
this is another thing I noticed in the beginning, you helped me. You really held my hand
Hmm.
for filling in some of the
Yes.
blanks, right? Because you could probably see like I needed that. I
Yeah.
needed
In the
someone to be
beginning.
like, yeah.
Right.
And as soon as I kind of had my feet, you were like,
Right.
I'm going to stand 6 feet away now while you're
Right.
going out and you let me know how it goes and I've got your back. And that
Right.
has been so transformative because instead of like immediately coming to you for a question, I
Mhm.
try stuff and then I come to you with more specific, like more specific problem, perhaps. Instead
Mm.
of just
Mhm.
how do I do this kind of thing.
Right. Um, Specifically, what was your trying to think about how to word this. Like, what was your biggest like transformation in terms of like maybe something unexpected? Like, whoa, I didn't expect that to happen.
Um,
These
okay.
are all like hard questions, and
They
she
are
didn't
hard
get any of
questions.
these questions
No.
beforehand. I just bringing them on
Well,
her now.
and the reason they're hard is because I'm like, which one do I pick?
Which
Like,
is amazing.
yeah, it is amazing. I didn't expect to fall in love with my business.
That's
Um,
so fun.
I didn't expect to like see it as a relationship.
Mm,
I remember one time I was driving somewhere and this song came on and I was thinking about my business and I remember being like, that little car dance I just did was like a makeout session with my business.
yes.
And I didn't expect to my looks a certain
I
way in
didn't
my brain.
understand. Hey Siri, I didn't expect to lake, but I could
Thanks
search the
for
web
your
for it.
help, Siri.
Is that's you, right? That's so funny.
Siri or yours?
I don't think I have Siri. That's so funny.
Well, it stopped. I don't know which one of us that triggered, but
That is so funny. I
okay,
have no
but
idea where that came from.
I
We just
didn't know that
channeled
I
it.
could have these kinds of feelings about this.
Mhm.
Oh, what I was saying is, my business has an image in my brain. I can't describe it to you, but it looks a certain way. And
Mhm.
I just love her. I just
Mm,
love her. And I love watching her grow. You remember
yeah.
one time you were like, kind of calling yourself like the business doula. That's what it's
Yes.
like. It's like this business is kind of my baby and kind of my lover in a way,
Yeah.
like
Right.
depending on how I'm thinking about it. And
Mhm.
it is a relationship. And so it nourishes me. I make sure of that.
Mm,
I make sure it's not
mhm.
an abusive partner,
Right.
which it
Yeah.
totally was before.
Yeah. That you're using to beat yourself up. Like, look, you're not doing this.
Yes.
And by the way, you're a piece of crap and you shouldn't be doing that. Like, it's not that relationship at all. It's now your baby and your lover.
Yes,
It's just so
exactly.
cool.
Depending on the day.
I do that with my cat. I'm like, he's my boyfriend and my girlfriend and my baby and my so much love.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to gush about in terms of your business, in terms of your favorite things? Like, what should people know about coaching?
Okay. I mean, everyone needs to have a coach. I just can't say it enough. It's
Yeah.
not just because I'm a
Yeah.
coach. I
Right.
mean, it is just the most life-changing thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And hiring a business coach does not mean that you just are getting help with your business. That's what I
Right.
love. Like I hired a coach to help me with some of my body stuff a while
Mhm.
ago, and it touched all these other things. So you want like someone with expertise in the thing you really want help with, but you can expect so much more than that. You
Mm.
can expect to see it change every little thing of your life. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what and I see this with my clients, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
here to help you with your relationship with
Mm-hmm.
the church you left and how to have
Yeah.
run your life. And sometimes our sessions are all about something else. And we can see how it's all connected. We're human beings. I don't know
Right.
why we think
Mm-hmm.
that we're all of these little tiny compartments. We're just not.
Right.
My vision
So
for the world
beautiful.
is that everyone has a coach that they meet with at least once a
Mhm.
week.
Yes. Okay. So, what actionable advice would you give somebody contemplating maybe signing up for a consult for this program that you just went
Yeah.
through?
Okay. Don't like turn your brain off a tiny bit and learn to listen to your heart.
So good.
Because our brains, especially when we're starting something new, our brains have
Mhm.
so many reasons to tell us like that it's too risky to sign up for a free consult. It doesn't make
Mhm.
any sense.
Right.
And I think so often we think that's important to like, oh, that must
Mm-hmm.
be to tell me something. And like, yeah, but when the risk is like a free consult, like
Yeah.
literally no risk, you don't need to listen to that. Like
Right.
and the thing that's cool about that is then you start to be like, oh, this is what it feels like
Mm-hmm.
to listen to my body or and not
Right.
think my way into everything. So my actionable thing would just be like, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. Just like take a chance on yourself. That's really what you're doing. And that's why your
Yeah.
brain doesn't want you to.
Right.
Anytime your brain is like, no, this is a bad idea.
Right.
It's because you're trying to take a chance on yourself. And like,
Right.
what if you
That's,
didn't? What if you beat the house when you take the chance
yeah.
on yourself? That's gonna happen.
And your heart and your gut know. That's
Do
like what I'll
not.
offer too. It's like I know so many times I've been on the fence and I know I'm going to do it and I know I'm going to sign up and I know I'm going to pay this much money, but my brain is still negotiating with me.
Yeah.
And for sure, the feels are always in tune with what you want, and the brain will try to talk you out. So if your brain is freaking out, that doesn't mean stop. It doesn't
Right.
mean quit. It doesn't mean abandon ship. It
Mhm.
probably means go.
It
So,
probably means go.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Natalie, thank you so much for being here. And I'm so glad we got to celebrate you. Tell us about your whatever you want to plug, your social media, your website, what you got going on.
Yeah. So you can find me at nataliebergercoaching.com, and that's BERGER,
Mhm.
like iceberg, not like cheeseburger. So nataliebergercoaching.com. Instagram, I'm Natalie Berger Coaching. You can sign up for a free consult. You get a whole hour where we can meet like this and talk. Just following my Instagram, I offer a lot of help through my Instagram account. So if you've left a high demand religion, or even if you're just struggling with a relationship because of political belief differences or
Mhm.
whatever, this kind of work is totally what we do.
Yeah,
So
right.
Natalie Berger Coaching on TikTok, Instagram, email, it's all Natalie Berger Coaching. Just add something to the end and you'll find me.
Love it. Okay, Natalie, you are the best. I will talk to you soon and have a
Okay.
good one.
Awesome. You too. Thanks, Holly.